Hi Sharat. Hi Vijay. Hello.
Hi Bala. Hi Bala. I can hear you.
Who is the other person? 79821.
I don't know. I think it's Sunand. I think
Nanda.
Sunand. I think I'm not sure. I joined through mobile, so I don't. I'm not getting the idea.
Okay. Again, it's not mandatory, guys. And if you are only interested, you can join. Otherwise, no need to join. Okay.
Okay, okay. Anyway, it's for our improvement. It's no issue. Bala. I can.
Okay. Let's start. Uh, Let me share my screen. You all see my screen?
Yes.
Okay. Let me just walk you through, guys, how it is. This is a sample architecture. Again, I just took it from uh, Google. Um, in fact, our automation or our CI/CD is set up in the same manner. What you see here. What happens? As soon as user updates the code, or if he makes any code changes, obviously he will do the code push to the GitHub. That is the central code repository that we have. In this case, it might be Bitbucket, or GitHub or SVN that I have already told you. But in our case, that we have a GitHub code repository that I'm using. And then, as soon as the user makes the code changes and commits, commit means is or once he commits the new changes into GitHub, that means once he pushes the code into GitHub, what happens? Webhook is triggered on a push events. So automatically the webhook will be triggered on a push event as soon as we commit or push the code. Immediately it will trigger the webhook, and then what happens? It streams the request to the agent. As soon as it sees some changes, it will be streaming to the agent, and then webhook relay agent will respond to that stream, and it will subscribe the request. That means it will accept the request, and then relay webhook request to the Jenkins. The webhook relay agent will request again, from here directly Jenkins will request to the GitHub, to pull the code repository, because our code is available here, right? So it directly goes and communicates to the GitHub, and it pushes the code into our Jenkins. So what happens? Jenkins will start executing the job. Our code might be like creating an AWS instance, or creating an S3 bucket, or creating VPC subnet, etc. Whatever maybe it is. So it goes and start executing those jobs, or spinning up the infrastructure into your respective cloud provider, maybe on-premises cloud, or Azure, AWS, Google Cloud, irrespective of the things, based on your provider configuration, based on your Terraform code configuration, it will start executing the job that we have created. This is the overall workflow, or a simple architectural, I would say, workflow diagram for our automation, that what we are going to do now. Is everybody clear, or you have any questions?
Yeah, yeah, Abdullah, it's fine.
Okay.
Why are we putting the information or the script on the GitHub? Can't we have the information inside our uh, means premises or inside our location? Because in the GitHub, even though it could be privately held, the securely held, but still the scripting would be publicly available or could get available over there.
So we have two options in a GitHub, Sunand. One is public repository and another one is private repository. So if you are selecting an option public, that means your script and the credentials will be seen by all the people on the web. And if you are selecting your Git repository as a private, that means every time when you access, it's required the username and password credentials to be uh, given. Without those username, password credentials, it won't be accessible. So GitHub has that two options. So I mean, this is just kind of a demo, and we are not having a real-time project or real-time things. I just made my Git repository as a public, so that you guys can also access that and look at what we have written. But otherwise, if something that cannot be shared, yes, we can make it as private, and it won't be on the web, or nobody will be able to access your code.
Okay.
Okay. So this is my Jenkins server again, which is running on AWS. Let me log into AWS. My username and then NTNZMF. Let me enter my password. Okay, let me change my region to Mumbai. Let me go to EC2 instance. Okay, here you see that I have two key pairs that I have created for my purpose, and I have Golla one, have demo one. These are the two key pairs that I have created. And then I have something called EC2 instance. As I mentioned that I have my Jenkins server running on on AWS cloud, and this is what my Jenkins server, and this is my public DNS, and this is my public IP. Okay, I've already accessed my Jenkins. This is my Jenkins URL. As you see that I have already have two jobs that I have already created. I was just starting to spin up some testing labs, etc. with this. So I have two jobs that I've already created, but I will show you guys how to create from the starting and how to get this complete pipeline created. So let me connect to my Jenkins server first. This is the public IP address, and then as I mentioned that I have the key that I have already created, that is demo. Let me open. Username is Ubuntu. Okay. So first thing that I have already installed a Terraform here because that is needed. And this is my Terraform. This is where I have installed, and I have already installed Git, and this is where my Git is available. Okay. And these are the two things that we required on the server to create this pipeline, which we already have. In the similar way, that we need to have the plugins that you need to install on the Jenkins server. And if you go to manage plugins and click on available or install plugins, if you see Terraform, my plugin is already installed. And then see Git plugin is where it is. You see Git pipeline plugin already installed. GitHub integration plugin, which again one more thing that we need to have, which is already installed. Okay, these are the plugins, two plugins that we required for this pipeline to run. Again, if you have a Maven project, like Maven will have a different plugin, right? And if you see, you need to have these plugins to be installed to configure your Maven plugins. And if you are trying to integrate with ServiceNow, and you need to have service now, I mean, you need to have a ServiceNow plugin. So it depends that what kind of jobs, what kind of pipelines that you are running, and what are the tools that you are using to run this Jenkins job, and those respective plugins should be installed on this Jenkins server. So it is very simple. Installation is not something, it's not tough. And maybe let's say Docker. If you are building the containers on a Docker environment, you just click on this and install without restart. And then after installation, you just need to restart your Jenkins servers to get the changes affected on this. So I am not going to install any plugins. Again, it is just click here and restart. That's it. We are not going to do or make any changes. So it's just a plugin that you need to install, which we have already installed. And then what I'll do is I will
Bala, here one second.
go ahead.
Suppose if you have multiple plugins, is there? Suppose it is your Docker. Now currently we are going to install Terraform. So parallelly, if you are installing Jenkins or other plugins, means in that situation we need to be reboot the Jenkins service in this time only, or after some time.
After every
If you have multiple.
Yeah, after every plugin installation, you need to restart your Jenkins server.
Service or server you need to restart?
Server.
Okay.
Or you can just restart the service. It's fine.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. After
If we are restarting the service, means is it affecting to other
no,
plugins?
It won't. I mean, plugins that will be running within the Jenkins server, right? It won't affect. Why it will affect?
So it will. Okay. Okay.
Okay. So let me just I'm using Microsoft Visual Studio for code editor, and then I have a Jenkins GUI client, and I can also do in a command line Jenkins, but I've also Git client, GUI client that I have installed. So this is where our code resides. Let me log into GitHub. This is my GitHub, and I have a code here. No, maybe let's take one of this, any of this code for a simple thing. I'll just show you a simple Terraform code that I have created for just creating the security group in AWS cloud, and I have a Jenkins file. The Jenkins file contains that how our pipeline should be triggered. It's a step-by-step initiation that how we are going to start this pipeline. This will tells that how our pipeline is getting executed. In my case, it is just checking out the code from the Git, and then performing the Terraform in it. Terraform in it will be performed to get all the modules to be configured or installed, and then I'm performing Terraform format, the code format, and then I'm validating that code whether everything that what we written is right, or we need to make any changes, or is there any issues. And then the next action that we are performing is Terraform plan. The plan will show that what exactly the changes are going to happen before it's get uh, the infrastructure spin up. So the plan will tell you that how many changes that we are trying to make through this code. And then we have a Terraform apply, which means that we are all set to create the infrastructure using this Terraform code. We are just going to start setting up the infrastructure that what we have codified here. So this is the file. Again, this is something that you can create, or if you don't want to create, you can also add your script on the Jenkins server. I will show you where you need to add. And the next one is it's a providers. I'm giving the reason, I'm giving access key, and I'm giving security key. Again, these all are coming from my variable file. This is the variable file that I have created. Access key and the secret key and the reason, as I mentioned that I'm in the Mumbai region, right here. If you see this thing, so this is what AP South 1 is belongs to Mumbai region, and I just took from here and copied. And I can take out my secret keys from here, AMI, and I have only one user. So for that I have created here in the AWS IAM user. If you click on users, that you will see the username balaraju.golla. And then if you see that the permissions that I have already added to this user is EC2 instance full access and DKS cluster policy and administrative access. And I've added these are the permissions to it. So anyways, I have administrative access which can perform most of the actions that we are needing, or planning to perform through this pipeline. Again, similar way, if you have something that you wanted to add an additional permissions, you just need to click here, and you can add a user to group if you have anything. In this case, I have not created any groups, but in a real-time environment, you all will have a different groups. Example that let's take DCOM team. DCOM team have a separate DL, the security DL, which will be again having a separate permissions. And the similarly, you can create number of groups and give maybe read-only permission, full access, or give somebody only the EC2 instance access, and again give somebody only to have EKS cluster access, etc. All those can be done through this. We are just isolating the permissions based on the groups, and then copy the permission from existing user. In my case, I have only one user. Just in case if you have multiple users, and if you guys want to have or mirror the permissions that what XYZ have, you can also do that. And the next thing, it's attach existing policies directly. The AWS will have lots of policies that are already in place, and for each service you will have a separate policy, right? and AWS have maybe more than 60 or 70 services. For all those services that you will be having a different um, policies, and these policies again will decide that what access or what permission that the user should have. So I'm not selecting anything here because I have already added the required access to my user, and but just trying to show that we have many of the access policies that you can choose whatever that you feel that it is required or whatever that is needed to the user to run it. So without this, we'll not be able to start our job. So this is one of the requirement that you need to ensure that you have the required permissions to the user to run your pipeline. In my case, that I have already added the required permissions. And the next thing, if you comes here, there is something called security credentials. And in my case, I have already created, but I just make them inactive because the repository that what I have created, I made it publicly, right? And this credential will be seen by all the people. So what I did temporarily, I have inactivated because I'm not using them, uh, right? So what is the point just making them active? So I temporarily deactivated. But what I'll do for now, I'll just go and make it active. Okay. I mean, this is not needed. These are the only one credentials that I'm using. So I don't need it. And I just made this inactive. If I need it, I can also make it active. But for now, this is the access key and the security keys that I'm using. So I just made this one is active for this time. Okay. So let's go and check. So the action items that what we are performing, as I mentioned, a simple action item to create the security groups. If you see here, I have already 5 security groups by default, which is created. Okay, the default security groups. These are the default security groups, and these two are created as part of my Jenkins instance creation. So, as of now, I have only 5. I'm going to add one more security group to the here in this place in the AWS account. And so let's get started. First thing that what I have to do is I need to create a new item. Okay, I mean I need to create a new job. So what I'm creating is I'm choosing a pipeline project. Again, you can choose whatever that you want. GitHub organization, multi-branch, and if you have multi-branch or multi-environment, if you want to create the job for multi-branch pipeline, you can also do it. But this is something I am doing for a pipeline CI/CD. I'm just selecting pipeline project, and then what I'll do, I will just give the same name. Maybe okay. Let me do it. Demo. Create a Z security group, and then auto. So I just given the name demo create security groups for AWS EC2 instance. Okay, instance that is going to happen, auto deploy. We are not going to do anything, any manual changes or any manual builds or any manual approvals. As and when the code has a different version or as and when the code commits happens, this gets deployed. Okay, so I'll click OK. And then I'll just give the description for this job. Create SE for AWS EC2 instance, auto deploy in brackets CI/CD, continuous integration and continuous deployment that I'm going to do. Then what I need, I'm doing it from the GitHub project that I have mentioned, right? So I need to give my code URL. This is what my code URL in the GitHub. I will just copy this and I paste it here. And then I mentioned to you guys that build should be triggered on every Git hook push, right? And we need to choose this one, GitHub hook triggers for Git SCM pulling. When something gets triggered, or when something gets changed at the code end, the build should be triggered. It should, pull those changes automatically into the environment. Okay, the build triggers that we need to choose here. In this case, it's a GitHub hook trigger for Git SCM pulling. And then if you come down, we have something called, pipeline. If you want to do the pipeline through a script, you can do it. If you want to do the pipeline through a script, you can also do it. The only change, guys, in this case, that we have already pipeline script, right? And we don't have to, write anything here in the GitHub separately. If you don't have this pipeline script, the same thing, you can copy this entire script and, paste it here in the script box. So in this case, that we already have a script in a file, so we need to choose this pipeline script from the SCM. So the name itself is clearly says that I'm using the pipeline script from the SCM. SCM is nothing but a source code management. That I have the script. The script file name is Jenkins file. So I choose the second option, pipeline script from SCM, and then I'm going to choose a Git. What is my source code management? It is Git, right? So I'll just copy the same source code URL again here. That will be here, this one, and I paste it. This option is not really mandatory if your code is public. If your code is enabled to access for public, you don't have to give the credentials. If your code is private, then only give. But even if it is work, if you are giving credentials for public uh, Git repositories also. In my case, these are my credentials. That means, again, it's very simple, guys. You can just click on here, GitHub, and choose global credentials and give username, password. And then the scope of this is Jenkins node items, all child items, etc. Because I'm just going to give the full scope, and I'll just give my same username, that is here you see Balaraju Gulla, and followed by the password of my GitHub, right? So this is very simple. Just give the username and update the password. And if you want to add any descriptions to that user, you can go ahead and do it. So in my case, I have already added the user, and here it is. I have already added the user. The description of the user is Jenkins Terraform. Okay. And then if you comes down, branch specific blank for any, and what is your branch, and your repository will have different branches, right? And that itself is a kind of a big topic. Maybe we'll discuss that in later point in time. So right now I have a branch, main branch, and here you can have multiple branches based on your environment setup, etc. You can create multiple branches. In my case, I have created a main branch. It's not master branch, it's a main branch. what I'm going to mention here, my branch name, that is main. Okay. And if you come down here, repository browser, it should automatically browse to my repository. That's what I have selected. And since above the URL, whatever I have given the repository URL, it automatically goes and browses from there. And then my script path, it's a Jenkins file that I have already mentioned. It is here. This is the file that is used for script. The scripts, the same script is going to run from the file that I have mentioned. Okay, and click save. And I have configured job, and there is something that I need to do, that is here in the global variables, and where, let me come down to manage Jenkins, and there is something called global tool configuration. Guys, we are using a Terraform tool, right? And we need to configure the Terraform tool here before we start our job. So in my case, this will be only enabled only when you have installed your plugin. So in my case, that I have already showed um, in the beginning, right, that I have installed the Terraform plugin, Jenkins Terraform plugin. So that's why you can see here. And for a Maven project, if you have a Maven project, if you are creating a project through a Maven, that you need to choose this. If you have something Ant, you can choose Ant. And if you are doing through a Gradle, you can do it. So, but in my case, that I'm doing a Terraform project, I just need to click on install, and then you just need to um, click on add those tools. In my case, I've already done for my previous projects, that because of that, you see that Jenkins Terraform, this is the name that I have given. And then I have the installation directory, which I have already told, right, which installation directory which is already there. um, Sorry, this is my directory. This is where I installed my Terraform. So the same path that we need to give here, and I've already given. And I don't need to make any changes here. I've already configured the global tool credentials, global tools configuration. So I've already given the path. And okay. And the next thing that you need to do is, guys, there is something that you need to configure from the GitHub, that is webhooks. If without this, the code will not run. Okay. And in my case, I have already did it earlier. So what I'll do, I'll just delete for now. And then I'll just create a new webhook. Let me enter my credentials. Okay. For creating webhook, that you need a Jenkins URL. This is what my URL, along with the port number. I just copying the IP address and followed by the port number, where from where it's communicating. So I'll just take this and click on add webhook, and then paste it here. And then you need to type GitHub hyphen web hook slash. This is what you need to give here. Okay. And nothing else that you need to save. Nothing else that you can need to change. Just the push event. It which event would you like to trigger? this webhook, we, as and when we commit the code, when we push the code into GitHub repository, that point in time, the build should trigger. Okay. So I just chosen just the push event option, and then I gave my payload URL from where it should, or where it should be deployed, and click next. I click add. So you should see that this hook has never been triggered. That means we did not see any errors. And again, this webhook was never triggered in the past. So this is new one, right? So I have this, and I think I have everything that what I need. So let me click here, configure. I just wanted to disable for my previous job so that it will not create a problem for us. Or else I can also just go ahead and disable this project. So that means it will not create any problem to me. So I disabled. So I have this one. Oh, not this one. Sorry. Oh shit. Why I did this? Okay. This one that I have created, right? So I need to enable this. Accidentally I disabled the one that we are trying to do. GitHub project. Paste this URL, and it should happen this way. Click save, and then let me go back. So this is the one that I created earlier. I will disable it. Okay, my job is disabled. You guys can see the status here. And this is the job that we have right now. We are going to build the trigger pipeline that we are triggering on this job. And let me just go back and cross check that I have everything. GitHub project, Git hook trigger, pipeline script from SEM. It's a main branch, browse repository, auto and script path that we have given. And then I have already set up the webhook and it is healthy. Yeah, it is healthy. Okay. Let me go ahead and see, or clone my Git code. So I'm just trying to clone it now. My code, git clone. And where it is? It is here. Git clone. Okay. 1 minute. git clone. dir. Wait. Okay, nothing is there. What, accidentally I skipped it. Let me come here, desktop. So what I'll do, I'll just delete this. Wait, better. 1 minute, guys. This. So I don't have the directory. Now I'll just clone. Git clone. It's getting cloned from the GitHub. And if you see, it's already cloned into CI/CD pipeline, CD, CI/CD, and ls. Sorry, PIR. So I have all the files that are cloned from the GitHub. Okay, and what I'll do, I'll just come here, open the folder. This is what my working directory on a local machine. Okay, let me click on terminal. So I have the code on my local machine. You guys can see, right? These are the same files that I have. So what I'll just do is,
Impala,
Yeah,
Navin here.
yeah, Naveen.
I joined 15 minutes late actually.
Yeah,
Oh, okay, at 3 o'clock I have a stop. Do
okay.
you have any plan to make this call in another day, any weekends?
Yeah, sure. We'll do.
And yeah, I mean, my request is if you can make it Saturday evening, it will be very good.
Yeah, sure, no, we'll do it.
I mean,
And
kind of
I'm,
like long session, like 2 hours or 3 hours also we can stretch
yeah,
it.
yeah, sure. Sure, Naveen.
Yeah, I will stay here for 15. How long you are going to make this call today?
It's almost done. So it's almost done. I will make it even high and build next time. I'm just trying to, work it out how things are working. Okay. I'm not an expert, but yeah, just trying.
Who said you are the expert?
Learning resource. Okay. I'm just going to give the same thing what I gave here. $Raju monitoring. Okay, let me save my code. Okay, as I mentioned that these are my variables, security key and access key, and the reason where I want. What the hell is happening? Some key is pushing. What? Okay, security key and the reason where it should deploy. So all those I have given in my variable file, and this is my provider. Um, you know, the information is already available in the variable file that I'm asking my provider file to get the reason security key access key from my variable file. And this is just a readme file. It's not required, or we are not going to do anything. It's just a readme file, or something that we are going to type how this trigger happening. Jenkins, let me something down. Jenkins, Terraform. Yeah, this is enough. It's a dummy, nothing. If you want, you can write. Otherwise, leave it. So we have everything now. So what I will do is all these changes that what I have made now, it is available only on my local copy. It is not pushed into GitHub. It's not there in the GitHub. If you example, if you see README file that I have just given something Jenkins and Terraform, right? You did not see those changes in the GitHub because I have not yet pushed my code into source code management, that is GitHub. So I have made the changes. I parked them in my local system. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to push these changes into my GitHub. This is my project folder. Okay. And what we'll be doing it now here is just use these commands. Git init, it is initiated, git is initiated, and then I have already added. It's not only README file that I have updated, I have also updated the security group code file, right? In this case, that I just need to give star. That means everything on this project folder should be pushed into GitHub. Okay. So I'll just click git add star. That means everything under this project will be added for uh, you will see here. Where is that? Open, add the repository, choose the path, desktop. Okay, you guys can see, right? As soon as I add the project folder, these are the two files that I have changed. This is where that you can see in a GUI, and the same thing can be seen here by typing git status. Did you see the changes to be committed for these two of the files? The same thing that you can see here in my GUI. So I can do from GUI, and I can also do from a CLI, but I'm still struggling to make it full understanding of this Git through CI and CLI and the GUI. So I'm just using both for now. So I'm just mentioning git commit and git commit -m, and I'm just typing the comments like it's my first comment, or whatever you can. Since you have changed two files, you can also write what are those that you have changed in the comment. And as soon as I commit, you will see the change here. You don't have any files here. Those all files are got uh, moved from the parking place. It's moved from the parking place and ready to push into branch, the main branch. You see, right? You have one local commit waiting for push into GitHub, because I just committed and the changes, and it's went from this parking place and it is ready to push into GitHub. So if you see, I will just choose git main branch if I'm doing through the command prompt, because this is where my files are in. This is where I wanted to push. So I am in the main branch now. And in case, if you have different branches, that you can also switch over between the branches using this command. Okay. And the next thing that we need to add um, the changes to remote GitHub. So I've already added. This command is not really needed, but let me just go ahead and do it for understanding purpose. Not this, did it wrong? Git origin. Come to the Git URL and code copy. This is my path. So I'll just click enter. Remote origin is already exist. I told you it's not needed, but for your understanding, I just mentioned it. Now finally I'm going to push the code into my GitHub. As soon as I push the code into repository, you won't see this message. You can also do the push from here, and you can also do from the command line. So I just entered git push. What happens? The code, select, okay, press 1, and then this is the first time, right? It will ask for an authentication. Come on. The same credential that we need to give. Authorize. Password, yes. Authentication is succeeded. See. So branch main set up to track remote branch main from origin. So we have committed, and now if you come here and see, there should be a job running for you. Okay, there should be a job running for you. It's not triggered. Let me see what is the error here. It should start by now, yeah. GitHub pipeline, Git hook. One minute, let me see what went wrong. Configure. One minute, guys. Pipeline. To pipeline readme file. So the changes are not pushed. Why? Build trigger is correct. It is correct. Pipeline is correct. Okay, something I'm missing. S3 bucket. Configure. GitHub. GitHub project. So where did I do the mistake? Okay, one minute, guys. Let me. GitHub project. GitHub. Okay. And then let me go here. Settings. Book. Delete this. GitHub. Okay, maybe I did something wrong here. GitHub icon web book.
Bala, we are not able to see your screen.
Okay, so 45 minutes over it is. This may
I
go-
think so. It's over. Yeah, now we are able to see.
Okay, let me just make some change here. I'm just using another one just to see what is the problem. Okay, I just updated some change. Yeah. If this is working, that should work. Huh? You guys can see, right? The build is started. The another build that I have set up. Okay, 1 minute. You will see that. The build is started, it's checking out the code, and it's installing the Terraform. I mean, it's already installed. Check out Git, Terraform init, format, validate, plan, Terraform. All those things are happening. So it's at the final stage now. So the build is completed successfully. You can also go here. Yes, let me first figure it out that you can see the logs here, what went wrong, and here in the console output, and these are the initiatives that we have did it, and finally you will see that build is succeeded. And if you guys come here, you will see here refresh. Okay, what is the reason that I deployed? Okay, come here, provider variables. It is in US East. If you come here, US East, you will see there is one VPC, subnets, and S3 bucket. All those are different. It's Virginia East 2. US East 1. US East 1. S3 bucket. See Balaraju Golla, that it is part of our code and it is created on this date. So it's created. VPC should also create. Maybe it's taking time. I don't know. Yeah, it's created demo VPC. You guys see, and then it is created 2 subnet marks, subnet 1, subnet 2. So let me see what is the issue on another build. Okay, come here. This is our build. So configure. I give the correct path. Balajugola, and this is my CI/CD pipeline and variables. Access key 5PJZY. Yeah. My credentials are correct. So AP South 1, AP South 1, AP South 1, I given correct only. And then security groups. So what I'll do, I'll just make some change here. So I'll do the commit here itself. Okay, one, let me do it from here. Okay. Let me edit the code here. Is this? Variable file, correct, provider. Git star git commit hyphen second commit. It's my second commit. Git push. Okay, 1 minute. Let me push here. So I have the file. Okay, it's pushed. Let me come here. Oh, something is broken for this man. Configure. Click here, build now. So manually it's happening. Let me see. I did manually. I clicked on build now. So it started building now. Okay. So it code don't have any issue. It is successfully completed. If you see now, it is created a security group in Mumbai region. Mumbai. Where it is Mumbai. EC2. Security group. Earlier we had 5, right? So we created this Balaraju. So 1 minute, guys. I think there is something at this side problem. Code settings, webhook, delete. Okay. GitHub. Add webhook. Git hu GitHub hyphen webhook slash. So let me come here. Let me open README file. What I'll do, I'll just make something. Second attempt. Okay. We did not need status. No, it's not origin main. So the problem is we gave the branch as origin name. It's not origin name, it is directly the main branch that we are supposed to give. So yeah. Oh. So let me do this. Git init. Git readme file that we have made. Only readme file we changed. And then git commit. Yeah. Now we took the change. Now if you come here and see, there is push that we have, push to origin. You see, pending in the queue, you just see that it is finishing waiting and now it started. There is something that we did a mistake from Git hook. Because of that, it did not happen. Now, if you see that the build is happening automatically. You guys see?
Yes, Bala.
Yeah, this is how it happens. This is how the CI/CD works. Maybe this is a just starting point to understand how it works, but this is how it works. Now, let me quickly show you. We have this, right? If you come here, EC2 instance, we have Balaraj Golla that is created, right? So what I'm just doing it, let me just delete it. I'll do something, put the charge. delete the group, and then I'll just give delete it. Now I have that group deleted. So what I'll do, I'll come back to my code. Okay, here is my security group, right? I'll come back to my code and I'll just make some changes here to my code. The first thing I'll just change to demo CI demo SZ. I'll just write here demo -SZ. So I'll just saving this file, and then what I'll do, I'll just you don't have to do git init every time. Now I have only one file that is changed. What is that file name? Security group, right? .pf. I just added that change, and then if you come here and you will see there is one file waiting. So what is my previous version? It is Balaraju. And what is my new version? It is demo SZ. You clearly see, right, what is that changed to your configuration file. And then
Yes.
then what I'll do, I'll just do git commit and commit -m -m comments. I'll just give hello CI/CD. So I just committed, and you see that what is happened. There is one file that is changed, right? And it is two places that where I have inserted security group SG, and we have no deletes, right? So now what I'll do, I'll just simply execute this command. I don't need to add this, as I mentioned. Git push. As soon as I do that, it is gone. If you come back here, you will see the security group, and here the build will start now. See, there is a build is starting, you see. And if you click here, and you will see that what's happening with this, and it is in the progress, and it is validating now. It is performing plan now, and then it will move to the next stage after plan. And you see the plan is happened, and then there is one thing that we are adding, right? And then it is applying those changes. There is one is added and 0 changes and 0 destroy. We are not destroying anything. So my job is success. And if I come back to AWS, I should see now demo SZ. You guys see? This is how it happens, guys. CI/CD. I think with a little bit of issue, but we were able to make it out. This happen. Is it clear to everyone?
Fine, Bala.
I mean, at least I may be thinking that I try to make you guys understand, but again, I will try to schedule continuously a couple of sessions. At least it's for me, not for you guys. I just wanted to see how good I am in explanation, how good I am in understanding. It's for my sake. If you are interested, only join. It's not mandatory that you need to join, but if you want to know something, yes, please feel free to join these sessions.
Yeah, Bala, one second. I have a doubt here.
Yeah.
The changes which you are making, going through this Visual Studio, right? You are putting the command and doing everything. Those things we can't be do it through in GitHub. We can make the create a brand and make the
You
changes
can
over
do
there
it.
in GitHub, right?
Yeah, you can do it directly here, but in real time, it won't.
Okay.
The people won't do, right? See, if I want to make some changes, yes, obviously, I'll just click on the security group come here, edit the code, and
Oh,
do
we
it.
can come in this. Okay.
Yeah. And simple example, I can give that too as well. So I'm just copying this ingress, right? Sharath, I'll just paste it
Ah,
here. I'll just
okay.
paste it here. So I just copied ingress. This is in the same line, right? Yeah, it's in the same line. What I'll do now, I'll write something 443, and then I'll write something 443. This 443 port should be enabled to anywhere. Okay, that's what I'm adding.
Okay.
Okay, to my file. So I'll just come
Okay.
here, the comment I did through command prompt, right? Updated
Uh,
security group to enable port number 443. Okay, I'll just do commit.
okay.
Okay. Now, as soon as I do the commit, you will see my build is triggered.
Yes.
Where the hell is dashboard? You see, right? It's happening.
It's okay.
Happening. Now you will see that 443 will be added to your security group. I'll show you that as well. Now you see here, now it's performing Terraform plan.
Yeah.
This is running. So it's completed. When it's completed, it just now completed. Okay.
Okay.
So if I come back here, EC2 instance, refresh, and this is my security group, and then come to, did you see?
It's 443. Yes.
Now if I remove and save it, let me show you. I'll just go here and delete this code. Sorry, I need to edit first because I'm not doing through Visual Studio and the other thing, right? And I'm just trying to make the changes directly on. I did it, right? Then what I'll do, I'll just come here and comment these changes. Remove 443. Done. And if you come here, there should be some build. It's going to start. See, pending, finishing, waiting, and started build. You see how cool
Yeah.
it is.
Yes.
So now you will see that changes here. Come here, click on this management console, and you see now 443. As soon as I refresh, click here. Wait, the build is completed. It's still running. Yeah, it's completed now. Build is completed. And come here. Now go back to security group demo. It's removed. Did you see?
Yeah.
Cool, right?
Yes.
Yeah. This is how it works.
Oh.
Maybe next time I'll take up a big topic, ECS cluster, and I did almost. Maybe I'll try to set up maybe on Friday for setting up the ECS cluster end to end, and I will also, I'm still not great at Terraform, but I know where to make the changes, how to make the changes, and what happens if I remove something like that. So I know, but I'm still exploring, trying to complete the course on this Terraform. So I'll maybe try to set up a big thing on Friday for AKS cluster, including roles, including groups, including VPC subnets and instances, etc. All those things. But it's just a starting point. Something it's always better to start with small and then try to learn big, right? So this is how it is, guys. Anybody have any questions for me? Vijay?
Yeah, it's fine, Bala. I understood everything.
Yeah. This is how even our build team is performing now automated builds. The only change is ServiceNow. We don't have the ServiceNow integrated, but otherwise rest all same. And replace AWS.
Okay, they will. Okay, then we need to install the ServiceNow plugin and we need to integrate through that.
Yeah, correct.
Okay.
Mine is a free version of Terraform. They will be using the Terraform Enterprise. Terraform Enterprise will be, Terraform Enterprise looks like this. Terraform Enterprise. Again, I am also going to do that, right? But it is just signing. This is how it looks. Sent a link to Balaraju. Terraform as action required. I know that why I am getting the error. Okay. Success. Yeah, I got it. Let me click here. So, I mean, I have just started exploring it, not fully at ready, but this is how you need to create a workspace and integrate that with the GitHub. And for example, I mean, I'm not fully ready yet. I just don't want to show you and integrate that with a Git repository and configure the APIs, etc. All those things. I'm not fully ready yet, but yes, I'm just trying to explore it. Okay, I've already created the same pipeline that we have created, right? You guys can see, and here, this is the GitHub that I have, and then there are many things that I need to configure. I'm not at configure and configure variables, all those things. I have to work on it. I will try to do it sometime this week, and then again I'll show you guys a demo. Okay.
Okay,
So,
Bala,
right.
thanks for the update.
Right, guys. Bye. Huh?
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you, Bala.
Okay, well, bye. Thank you.
Kunal, you are silent.
No, I'm good. Yeah, thank you so much for showing this much. Actually, this many things were new for me as well.
No problem. You got it right. You got the sense of it right.
Yeah. Yes. The scripts and the build are good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm not
Okay,
good
Bala.
at explanation, but yes, surely one day I'll explain well.
No, Ramesh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank
Bye.
you, guys. Bye.
Bye.
Thanks, well, bye.